there it is, ladies and gents. We're ready to rock and roll. For those of you looking for an inexpensive way to get your bottom line to go up, yeah, we're talking about some marketing, some advertising stuff, then this episode's for you. You're going to want to tune in. Let's get this one started. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life. Prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Buzz. All right, ladies and gents, if you're trying to build or grow your brand online, then this episode is for you. Today, we're going to learn how to take advantage of AI for lead generation and pretty much all things online. Our guest is focused on offering affordable and effective solutions for small businesses that produce results. They are online curious, always looking to break boundaries, create, solve, or fix marketing strategies to help clients achieve their goals. I'm always excited to learn what's working in marketing. So let's welcome to the show from the Dealey Media International group, Niki Dealey. All right, Niki, welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here, and my objective is to help your audience try and get customers on demand. And I love your intro videos. I was excited. Like I want to jump up and down too now.
That's what I'm talking about. It's, you know what, at the end of the day, if you're not having fun waking up what you're doing, you probably should be doing something else, right? I mean, we have to have some sort of purpose in our life, and why can't that purpose bring us joy at the same time, right?
Totally agree.
Well, let's jump into, you're getting into you've been in this space for a while. I mean, I kind of read your bio. Give me a little bit of background and what makes you an advocate for the small business owner?
Well, I'm self-taught, and I'm very proud of that because I became a certified conversion strategist. There's less than 50 of us here in the United States. I'm the only female. What that basically means to your audience is every year to keep that designation, I've got to create 200 sales funnels, bringing people out of cyberspace and bringing them down into a funnel to a sale 200 times. And I never know what vertical, I never know what I'm going to sell. Is it a digital product? Is it a service? And so even being self-taught, I absolutely love this. It suits my personality. And then I chose to help small businesses because I'm a small business. And I realized that as a small business, we're always, looking for solutions that are not only effective, but cost effective too, because we don't have these unlimited budgets, like Starbucks or Staples or Pizza Hut. So I've made my mission to help small businesses. And I'd like to talk about two strategies today that I think are the most, probably the most important if somebody is really serious about their business right now online.
All right, let's talk about these strategies and excuse the bell because I am in my classroom, ladies and gentlemen. It's part of what tends to happen sometimes. But you said a couple things that caught my attention before we jump into those two strategies. And at the end of the day, you're right. When you're small business and you're first getting started, you're bootstrapping everything. You want to go out and start marketing your business. You want to create sales funnels and put ads. But if you make a mistake, that cost means so much more to the small business owner than somebody else who has an adequate budget that can just kind of bow through the mistakes until they figure it out. So, 200 funnels that you have to create in different verticals. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes progress. It turns you into an expert literally by doing what you're doing every single day. Of all those different verticals, which one do you think you feel like you're just got it dialed down?
I think the service and the coaching consulting, those are my favorites. Just because there's a variety, right? You could be a dry cleaner, you could be a locksmith, you could be a coach, a consultant, You could be a dog sitter. So, and every single community needs those types of professionals to help our lives be better, right? So we all need, if you have a dog, and eventually you're going to probably go out of town, and maybe like me, I don't want to put my dog in a crate, with a bunch of other dogs smelling everybody else. I want him to stay at my home. And so, dog sitting is really important to me. And who doesn't know, or even who doesn't need a plumber from time to time, or an electrician, or a handyman? So yeah, I love those types of businesses.
Service industry is huge. Probably the number one thing most people start when they start their first business is in the service space. What can I do to bring value to other people? So let's talk about these two strategies. If we're a service provider, we're just getting started. I want to build my client base and I have no idea where to start. A real estate agent, for example, let's kind of work around the two strategies. We're a real estate agent. We're just getting into this space. How can I grow?
Right here. Right here. So why don't I give you some facts that maybe your audience really doesn't understand or grasp fully? There's 1.2 billion parts of data that people get from their cell phones. And that was with a B, by the way. So 95%, however, of small businesses, like we're talking, and, yes, it can be a realtor. It can even be a restaurant. Let's focus on restaurants, because there's over 9 billion people that have smartphones. And the average person that is on a smartphone every day, average now, is 4.5 hours. So my first strategy would be, you need to have a mobile app. Yes, a website is great, but if you don't have a mobile app, you're missing the boat. You're leaving money on the table. And let me explain why. If 4.5 hours are used on a smartphone every day from people, and that's the average, and if you don't have your little icon because you have a mobile app, then you are missing out, because you could be right here on their phone, much like a billboard or a banner, digital coupons, Facebook ads at no additional cost. So we're lowering the cost of our marketing, but we're increasing our brand awareness. We're increasing our loyalty. We're increasing our visibility just because you have the app here. And with, 1.2 billion pieces of data that's on your smartphone, you're a fool not to have an app now. And the benefit of having an app, some of them, I'll just give you a few, is brand loyalty, right? So you, instead of having coupons for that restaurant, or even you suggested a realtor, they're in all these magazines, choose me, I'll represent you, buying or selling. You don't have to do that, because in your app, you can have digital coupons. You can offer special offers. You can have promotions, discounts. Let's say my restaurant is going to have some big contest, or maybe margaritas at a special price because it's Cinco de Mayo. You can do that all inside your app at no cost. So you're not spending money on all these other various sundry types of marketing. You can also get customers on demand. And I'm going to repeat that. Customers on demand. How? Because you can push out a notification to all the people that have downloaded your app. And you can now say, hey, at Niki's Cafe today from 4 to 7, and let's say today we're recording on Thursday. So it might not be a very heavily trafficked day at my restaurant, Niki's Cafe, but I could push a notification and say, hey, we're having a special hors d'oeuvre night, or happy hours extended until 7 p.m. And I push that notification out. They get a little icon, like my Skype app has something. So somebody is pushing a notification on my app. There's another little bubble over here. So these are how it looks like on a cell phone. And when you open it, it could say my promotion. How much did that cost? $0. So that's what I mean. You can get customers on demand. You can also grow your list with emails, So you're not having to use a MailChimp or any of those other platforms that will charge you based on how many are in your database. How much does that cost? Zero. It's also a conversion enhancer because you can give out your contact information, your menu, any services, anything like that. And the more data, the more information somebody gives to somebody, then the easier they're going to convert into a sale. I don't know if you know this, but 85% of people going on the internet, whether it's desktop or on their mobile device, will make a decision not from a human being. So mobile apps are where it is. And also it practically eliminates, like I've just explained, the majority, if not all, of your marketing expenses. So,
well, let me pause you there for a second, because the mobile app, okay, for me, it sounds freaking fantastic from a marketer's point of view. I mean, the ability to put out that push notification. I'm like a little OCD when it comes to my notifications. If I have an app that has that little number of notifications, I gotta clear it. Like, I don't want it sitting there with a little 1 or 2 or 3 little messages. I'm like, something's got to get out of here. So I click on it at least to clear my messages, which means I'm seeing the notifications that are being pushed out on all these apps. That's phenomenal. My issue is, how do I get somebody to download the app? And I'll give you an example. My favorite app right now is the McDonald's app. If you guys ever download the McDonald's app, and I wasn't even a fan of going to McDonald's, but McDonald's will send me a push notification. Like, for example, I'm in San Diego and they're like, hey, the Padres won. You get $1. You get a free medium French fries with a $1 purchase. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm definitely going to do. I tend to go to McDonald's for French fries and a sweet tea just because I get the notification on the app. So how do I make my app valuable like that, where somebody's like, yeah, I definitely want to have that app because it brings value to me on a regular basis?
Okay, great question. 2 ways. One is, before the app is even built, I would recommend that you start a contest that's really elusive. Like, something's coming out in the second quarter of, let's say first quarter of 2023. So we're preparing, and you get everybody to put their ideas in a fishbowl or whatever the place that you want them to, and start engaging with, like, your patrons. How many people go to a restaurant? So every time they go into a restaurant, they get a chance to win. So you're creating the buzz and momentum. You can also have them start doing this on their Facebook pages and everything. And so if they share something with somebody and they end up winning, then you, because you shared it, and then the person that won, they can both win jointly. There's all kinds of marketing ideas, but it's all centered about incentive. If I own a Niki's Cafe, again, my server should be asking me for every guest, have you downloaded our mobile app? Let me tell you why. We have a loyalty program. So it's not just the push notifications. It could be the loyalty program. Who wants something free or something reduced, especially right now with our economy? You know, inflation's really high. So we're all trying to figure out, okay, where can I save money? And this is a perfect example. Let's say you and I are dating and you ask me, Niki, where do you want to go to eat? And I say, oh, I don't care. Where do you want to go? And you
typical
say,
answer.
Yeah. And you say, well, I don't care. You decide this time. Doesn't this conversation go?
Always back and forth.
Exactly. You're married, you're friends, you're dating. But if I have a downloadable mobile app and it's got a loyalty program, do you think my chances of responding to you, let's go to Niki's Cafe, goes up or down because of the loyalty
definitely
program?
definitely up. You're gonna hook it up. All right, first of all, you're giving me a hard time where we're gonna go, so I'm gonna pick the place, and I'm gonna pick the place where it's gonna be less expensive for me because I got that push notification.
Is it gonna be McDonald's?
It might. You never know. $1 French fries could go a long way.
Okay, but let me tell you something that we do, and that we do very differently. So we own our own software, so we can reduce the prices of our apps dramatically. You can go to a third-party website, howmuchtomakeanapp.com, and the apps that I'm referring to, I'm alluding to, is probably about 50,000, 50000. And the reason is because you have to build one for Android and you have to build one for iPhone. So they're basically two different programs. They don't talk to each other. They have different parameters, different coding. And you also want to make sure that you are hiring somebody that's going to get your app approved, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, that's expensive. No, it's not, because they won't support the app afterwards. But let me tell you what our proprietary software does, and it's at no additional cost. Again, our mission is really to help the small business and to grow with them and to come alongside them, to be their unofficial advisor. So when something happens, they can call us because they trust us and we produce results. But on our proprietary software, anytime you are in a radius, so let's say San Diego, or let's say Carlsbad, because I love Carlsbad. That's just north of you. So let's say we're just in the downtown area of Carlsbad. For your audience, Carlsbad is north of San Diego and south of Orange County, and it's a beach community. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Is.
So of course they have a downtown area full of restaurants and little shops and things like that. So let's say that Niki's Cafe was my face, and there was a radius around the downtown area because that's where Niki's Cafe is located. If you have our proprietary software, then you're going to have a notification that comes up outside of the app. So you don't even have to download Niki's Cafe app. It's going to come up and say, hey, join us, here at downtown Carlsbad. And when you join us, you get a free appetizer or a free drink or something. That's at no additional cost. I have not found one app company in America or Canada that does that at no additional cost. You have to pay for the service. Then you have to pay for how many ads you're going to dish out. Our cost is zero.
So what does it cost to build an app like that? Because I know I've tried to build an app early on when I got into real estate, and I felt like it was just a money pit because I got like, oh, that's a great idea, we should do that. Oh, that's a great idea, we should do that. Oh, that's a great idea. And before you know it, all those great ideas start costing and adding up. How much does it cost to run an app, and what's that process like?
So I told you that if you go to howmuchtomakeanapp.com, it's about $50,000. Our costs are anywhere between 7 to 10. And because somebody listened to your podcast, because hopefully they will, honor me and give us a shot at earning their business, I'm going to give them a $2,000 discount.
Ooh, that's sweet.
Let me tell you the best part. We have been doing apps since 2007. We've done over 1,000 apps, and we have a partner program. So scarcity is the key. In other words, if we're back down to, downtown Carlsbad, we're only going to take one Mexican restaurant, not two. We're only going to take one American restaurant, not two, one Chinese, or the niche of the restaurant. Or if it's a realtor, it's going to be in a geographic area, because we're not going to compete with our ads that, come in outside the app with everybody else just so we can make money. We're here to serve the small business. And the best part is, let's do the math, because I'm a numbers person. I own the company, like, show me the money, tell me the numbers, right?
That's right.
With our proprietary software, if we convert even 1%, and remember, I'm a certified conversion strategist, if we convert only 1%, you would increase your revenues by 10%. By not having an app, look at how much money you're leaving on the table.
Yeah. And it always comes down to the ROI, right? Like, look at what you're already spending. And is there any ongoing fees for running the app once we have it built?
Well, first of all, we have a payment plan, so that's easy. If somebody's, freaking out by, oh, I have to pay that much money, I don't have it. we have a payment plan, and we're not charging crazy payment plan fees and all that stuff. There is a maintenance fee, and it just depends on the industry. So let's go back to the restaurants. Usually it's about $297. You split that in half, right? So it's basically $150 and $150 for both platforms. And what that means is we're going to maintain the app. Anytime Google or Apple tells us, oh, you got to change the coding, we don't even let the customer know. We do it on our own. And we can make changes. I mean, it's very affordable for $150. I mean, come on, you would pay more with those coupons, with those beacons that have to go in for that GPS or geo-targeting that I was telling you about to come on outside of the app for an ad. So it's awesome.
Mike's
Yes.
asking, is this using geofencing?
Geofencing. Yeah, you can be calling it geofencing, geo-targeting, GPS. There's lots of names for it. So can I move on to the second strategy?
Yeah, that was going to be the next question anyway. So strategy number 1, using the app. Strategy number 2 is?
Okay, so it would be an artificial intelligent chatbot. Mark Zuckerberg, which we're all familiar with his name, he's the one that started Facebook, said that the chatbots will be the number one reason for his Facebook success over the next 10 years. But let me tell your audience right now, again, that all chatbots are not the same. You really need to have a specialized expertise in this area, because the simple chat box, one, they look kind of like a real person. We don't use that. We use a character because we're not trying to pull one over someone's eyes. So we have these cartoon characters. And some of them are real simple, like, hi, how are you, or whatever. Okay, those I'm not for. I'm for the ones that I'm going to tell you about right now. They have complex dialogue strategies. If you saw a chatbot tree, as I call it, of the ones, and I don't care what area you do, you could be e-commerce, you could be a realtor, you could be a real estate investor wanting to flip their houses. Any business can have this feature on their website. It's very complex. It is powered by artificial intelligence for better user experience, but it's not totally AI. And Google Trends has now shown that over the last 5 years in search, this chatbot volume has increased by 19%. So again, if you're not having that on your desktop website, you're leaving money on the table, because you get 80 to 90% response rates. 80 to 90% response rate. So again, let's look at the benefits. It increases your revenues. It increases a website conversion. When you go to someone's website, it's usually stagnant, right? Even a restaurant, and you have the ability to order from it, or there's always a contact us, and you type in your name and your email, and you hope that somebody gets back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's look at this. Let's play again with the restaurants. Okay, so you're now landing on Niki's Cafe, and a chat bot comes up and it says, "How are you today?" So we're starting a conversation, and you could say, and I could say A, B, or C. Dude, it sucks, or I'm in a hurry, or it's going pretty good. Okay. But let's say the person says, I'm in a hurry. So we know automatically that chat tree needs to be condensed. Get to the meat and potatoes, darling. We're not wasting time here. If it says sucks, we might offer some empathy, like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope tomorrow's a better day, or something like that. If it's, I'm having a great day, we might say, you want to share it? If not, say no, and we'll get you what you want. Okay, so that's what I mean by it has to be a complex dialogue strategy, and not just the real generic ones. And I'm talking only about our software. But imagine then if somebody says, "Hey, I'm in a hurry," and I would say, "Okay, great. Are you here for? Are you at the site for information between lunch or dinner?" And you say dinner. Great. Carry out, dine in. So we're now getting narrowly down in specifics and giving them exactly what they want. More importantly, what if we said, if you use this coupon code today, so right now, okay, then we're going to give you X, and then we'd like you to download our mobile app so that you can join our loyalty program, and today's purchase will be part of that. Okay. Now, have we increased that conversion of just somebody checking out a regular website?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It also reduces the manpower, right? Because a typical salesperson or somebody answering the phone, and remember I said 85% of people will not make a decision with a person. You gain more customers, you give them a better user experience, you're mainly streamlining their business, their buying experience based on those little questions at the very beginning. I'm having a good day, my day sucks, or hey, I'm in a hurry. So who uses these types of bots? And what I'm talking about is these complex dialogue strategic bots. Facebook, Starbucks, Staples, the Wall Street Journal, Pizza Hut, Disney, MasterCard. So what if you had that ability to compete with these giants, but you're just a regular, mom and pop local restaurant? You might have several locations, but now that experience is going to be increased and you can beat your competition. So this is great if you're an affiliate marketer, if you want to build a list, if you have a sales letter that needs to convert, if you have an e-commerce Shopify type store, or Amazon or Etsy or eBay, local businesses, if you want to increase webinar registration, consultants, freelancers, any service business, basically any business can use these. And it works with websites like WordPress, ClickBank, Lead Pages, Shopify, JVZoo, ClickBank. There's hundreds of them. And
you're literally cutting out the person, right? This thing is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, funneling people through your sales process without you having to do a thing, right? What's the setup like on that? How long does it take to set up a chatbot like that?
Well, it depends on the industry, so I'm not going to, give you a ballpark, but it generally takes about 30 days, because there's a lot of strategy that needs to go in the conversations. And we have a whole team that will actually consult with our clients so we can understand their culture, right? So if you're very prim and proper, like let's say over in the UK, they speak very differently, very formal. Well, we're not going to say, "Hey, dude," right? But if we're in Carlsbad and we're in a beach town, we might say, "Hey, dude," right?
For sure.
We're going to call them customers versus clients. A lawyer is going to have a client. They're not going to have a customer.
Nikki's Cafe will have a customer.
Exactly. So we design and build it initially with a consultation with our client, and then we build it, and then we test it, and we launch it. And then we're constantly tweaking it every single month because we're looking at the metrics. How can we improve it? How can we refine the content? But there's just an initial cost, and then it's a very affordable. It's as low as $150 a month.
That's not bad.
No, I'm telling you, this is why I wanted to talk about these two strategies, because if you don't have them, you're losing money. You're leaving money on the table.
Well, this is definitely something that people could use and put into play and start. I see why they call you the conversion specialist, because it's really turning people who are just visitors to a website into actual paying customers. It makes a huge difference. Niki, if people want to reach out to you, they want to learn more about either one of the strategies we discussed today, whether it's the chatbot or the apps, how can they do that?
Well, I'd like to talk to them personally. So I'm going to give you my personal email. It's Niki, it's right there on the screen. Okay, so if you would just send me a personal email and in the subject line put the podcast name that you heard this information on, then I know and my team knows the discounts that I'm offering. And so that way we honor what we said and we keep our word. But I would love to earn your business and help you. And if we can't help you, I might direct you to somebody else that might, just because I'm very infiltrated in this space.
Well, that's it, ladies and gents. You heard it. Look, it's next level stuff. I know technology might freak you out a little bit, but it'll make your life so much easier. Turning clients that are just kind of looking into actual paying customers. That's where the business is at. So make sure you guys hit up Niki.Dealey at DealeyMediaInternational.com or check out their website, Dealey Media International.com. Niki, thank you very much for coming on the show today. Really appreciate you taking the time. And those two strategies are money, ladies and gents. So take advantage of it. At least stop by, have a conversation with Niki, let her show you how she can help your business out. And from there, you make a decision. An educated decision is much better than just kind of at a whim thinking, I don't need that yet. Yes, you do. So make sure you guys check it out. Niki, thank you very much for being on the show. We'll talk to you guys again next time. Peace.
Thank you.
And we're out.
It's over. Go home.
Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast. But not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz to get